Today is February 26th, 2018. 3 years ago today, I quit AT&T. Hi, my name is Cherie. I was a director of operations at AT&T. My user ID was CharlieCharlie5313. I worked for SBC, which then became AT&T, for 15 years. And there was one thing that was always for certain during those 15 years. There were going to be surpluses. It's no joke. Every year there were surpluses. Thousands, hundreds, and thousands of employees. And that didn't even include when there was a merger or acquisition. Think about it. I personally had to let go employees. Great people were losing their jobs year after year. And in fact, AT&T has been doing it every year since I left. How does that make sense? Why is any business operating this way? AT&T has even announced 2 more surpluses, even after they got the tax cut. One at the end of 2017 and one at the beginning of 2018. 2 more.
To be clear, AT&T has been surplusing, laying off employees every year since at least 2000. Try looking up AT&T layoffs online and you're going to find hundreds of articles such as the ones you're seeing on your screen right now. But most of them are just repeats of the same information year after year after year, just in a different state and town.
So the last year I worked at AT&T, there was a new group formed to help with projects. And the group hired people from outside of AT&T to fill in this project team. These people moved from across the United States to Atlanta for these jobs. Now, before we go any further, I want to be clear. There was no budget for this headcount, but yet they hired these employees to come in and work in this project team, which they moved mostly on their own dime. I know you know what happened. Within 6 to 8 months, people were being surplused. That is how it goes. So why does AT&T hire people that aren't in the budget to only surplus them within months? Because they treat employees like numbers and not human beings. Not all companies are realizing that their lack of kindness and respect is leading to an increased lack of trust within their employees. So, do companies have to report this information on their annual reports? Well, I went searching in AT&T's investor website and online at AT&T, and I could not find any information about how many people have been surplused year after year after year. Companies have been performing this way for decades with no check and balance, and I believe that it's time that companies step up and start explaining their actions. Together, we can show AT&T and companies like AT&T that this type of behavior is not acceptable. Do you want to be part of this change? I believe it's time to have the courageous conversations. We can work together to expose what really happens within these big companies. AT&T and companies like AT&T don't want to have these conversations, but they're needed. I personally tried for years while I worked there, but it never made a difference. So, it's time to try something new. Are you ready? How about we collect our surplus stories and our stories on why we quit AT&T? Let's take those stories and let's put it in a binder and let's give it to them. Let them see what is going on. What are they doing to their employees? It's time to think outside the box and let's do something about this. Together, we can make the difference.
Submit your stories in email to info@stopgreednow.com, or you can go to stopgreednow.com/action. To submit your story, I will need a little bit of information. You can be anonymous. I will use the email address you provide as your name unless otherwise instructed. Dates of employment in the month, year format, such as January of 2010 to September of 2015. I need this so I can put the book in chronological order and do some analysis to see if certain years things happen versus other years. And then your story. I so cannot wait to hear your story because I do care. People do care. This is not normal and we need to step up about this. Optional for data collection would be what department you were in, whether it was consumer, business, or wireless, etc. Your job title, were you a rep, manager, account executive, etc. Your state, do not provide your city. And lastly, your gender and race. This can also lead to great analysis based on the information I receive from these two optional data collection. So it will be interesting to see what is submitted over.
It is time that businesses start running their companies again for the employees. It used to be that way until corporate greed took over. We can be the reality check that these businesses need. We can be the ones to say no more. I want to hear your stories. I want to read them. This is important. I care. People do care about this. We just have to show the business that it matters and that they have been doing the wrong thing. And it can be done. I so look forward to your stories. And again, my name is Cherie. I was the Director of Operations at AT&T and I worked there for 15 years. And I want to provide your story to the AT&T executives so that they understand how they've been treating their employees.